Well, this is the biggest birthday party I've ever been at. Wow. Whew. Now we're going to hear from His Excellency, the Chinese Ambassador to the United States, Xie Feng. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us tonight here in person, so please direct your attention to the left and right to the screens to watch his video message.
Chairman Xie Feng, Chairman Hu Wei, Senator Catherine Masto, Congressman Ro Khanna, Congressman Danny Davis, former Secretary Dan Glickman, former Senator Mark Kirk, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, Mayor Brandon Johnson, Deputy Mayor Kenyon Barrett, Ambassador Gary Locke, President Sean Stein, Mr. Eric Branstad. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it is a great pleasure to join you virtually. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the founding of the China General Chamber of Commerce, USA. I would like to express my appreciation and thanks to the CGCC and CGCC Chicago for your important contributions over the years to facilitating China-US business exchanges, advancing bilateral economic and trade cooperation, and promoting the development of the overall China-US relationship. I wish you greater success in the next 20 years from this new starting point. The theme of this year's gala is Apply, Advance, Achieve, driving forward together. This echoes both the common aspiration of the international community for development and prosperity amid changes never seen in a century, and the joint pursuit of China and the United States of rejuvenation and greatness. It should therefore be a shared goal for the business communities of both our countries. On the path forward, I'm most happy to share with you two pieces of great news. The first one is President Xi Jinping and President Donald Trump recently held a successful meeting in Busan, recalibrating the direction of the giant ship of China-US relations at a crucial moment again, and injecting confidence into both our countries and the world. President Xi pointed out that China and the US should be partners and friends. This is what history has taught us and what reality needs. President Trump said, China is the biggest partner of the US. Together, our two countries can have many years of success. The two presidents agreed to maintain interactions on a regular basis, enhance cooperation in economic, trade, energy, and other fields, and work together to accomplish more great and concrete things for the world. Facts have proven that heads of state diplomacy is always the anchor of China-US relations and provides irreplaceable strategic guidance. Despite ups and downs, China-US relations this year have stayed generally stable. The key insight we can draw from this is that only when China and the US adhere to the principles of mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation can we ensure the steady, sound, and sustainable development of our relations. Mutual respect is the prerequisite. The two sides need to respect each other's core interests and major concerns. For China, Taiwan, democracy and human rights, path and system, and development rights are our four red lines, which should not be crossed. Peaceful coexistence is the bottom line for China and the US, two permanent members of the UN Security Council and major nuclear weapon states. Peaceful coexistence is not only a duty, but also a must. Any confrontation or conflict between us would be a disaster for both our countries and the whole world. The two sides need to avoid miscalculation through dialogue and manage differences through communication. Win-win cooperation is the goal. The Earth is big enough to accommodate the respective development and common prosperity of China and the US. Tariff war, trade war, or tech war would lead nowhere. Any attempt of decoupling, supply chains disruption, and politicization would benefit no one. Upholding mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation is both what the history of China-US relations has taught us and also the right way for our two countries to get along in the new era. The course has been set. Our pressing priority now is to work in the same direction, make good use of channels of dialogue in various areas, and faithfully translate the important consensus reached between the two presidents during their meeting into concrete policies and actions. It would be unacceptable to take one step forward, but then half a step back, let alone say one thing but do another. Only when we pull together can we steer the giant ship of China-US relations around hidden shoals through rough waters and toward the destination of mutual benefit. The second piece of good news is the 20th CPC Central Committee adopted at its fourth plenary session the recommendations for formulating the 15th five-year plan, which has drawn a grand blueprint for China's economic and social development in the coming 5 years, and will open up broader space for cooperation between Chinese and American business communities. China's dedication to carrying out each blueprint to the end provides certainty for China-US economic cooperation. Through the 14th to the 16th five-year plan periods, we will strive to basically realize socialist modernization by 2035. The 14th five-year plan period is the start. The 16th will see its conclusion, and the 15th, therefore, will be a key link in between. Fully aligned with the 14th, the 15th five-year plan makes follow-on deployments on consistent long-term development goals, so as to make sure that the work keeps going. China's domestic and foreign policies will maintain strategic stability and continuity, which is especially precious in this turbulent and fluid world. China's focus on high-quality development will unlock huge opportunities for China-US economic cooperation. In the next 5 years, China's household consumption as a share of GDP will see a notable increase. Significant progress will be made in new industrialization, informatization, urbanization, and agricultural modernization, and industrial clusters in strategic emerging fields such as new energy, new materials, aviation and aerospace, and the low-altitude economy will create multi-trillion yuan and even larger markets. By 2035, China's per capita GDP will reach $20,000 on a par with that of a mid-level developed country, and its middle-income group will expand to 700 to 800 million. China will grow into the world's largest consumer market, an importer, providing a gold mine for Chinese and American business communities. China's commitment to expanding high-standard opening up will create new impetus for China-US economic cooperation. We will continue to expand opening up at the institutional level, align with high-standard international economic and trade rules, and create greater space for two-way investment cooperation in areas including protection of intellectual property rights, environmental protection, government procurement, management of science and technology and talent, and quite a number of service industries. Having removed all market access restrictions for foreign investors in the manufacturing sector, we will focus on the opening up of the service sector. This includes expanding pilot programs in value-added telecommunications, biotechnology, and wholly foreign-owned hospitals, and further upgrading and expanding our network of free trade areas. China is committed to advancing a broader agenda of opening up across more areas and in greater depth. Embracing China is embracing the future. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, as an ancient Chinese saying goes, an opportunity once missed is gone forever. So how can Chinese and American businesses fully seize these major opportunities to achieve greater success and play a bigger role in promoting the development of China-US relations and bilateral economic cooperation. I wish to share 3 hopes. First, I hope you will enhance confidence in China-US economic and trade cooperation. China-US relations enjoy strong resilience and internal dynamism. While we should not underestimate the difficulties and challenges we are facing, it is even more important that we never give up the hope and efforts of stabilizing bilateral relations. A healthy and steady developing China-US relationship serves the common interest of all sides and meets the shared expectation of our 2 peoples and the international community. A long journey can be completed only by taking 1 step at a time. I would like to encourage you to actively contribute to China-US relations with a sense of mission and responsibility. Start with concrete areas and programs. Keep making our list of cooperation longer and instill constant positive energy into bilateral relations. Second, I hope you will create momentum for strengthening the bonds of practical and mutually beneficial cooperation between China and the US. The success of China and the US is an opportunity for one another, and our bilateral relations are win-win in nature. Today, over 7,000 Chinese invested companies are running in the US, and about 80,000 American businesses have invested in China. They are the main force and beneficiaries of China-US cooperation. It is estimated that CGCC's Chinese member companies alone have cumulatively invested over $140 billion in the US, supporting more than 1 million jobs. American companies at the same time have invested a total of over $1.2 trillion in China. We welcome American businesses to invest more in the priority areas outlined in China's 15th Five-Year Plan. Meanwhile, we hope our American friends will also bear in mind the long-term trend and the big picture and provide an open, fair, and non-discriminatory business environment for Chinese investors here. Third, I hope you will inject vitality into the efforts to foster friendly exchanges at the subnational level. When people are of one mind and heart, even a mountain can be moved. The Midwest of the US has a robust industrial foundation and abundant agricultural resources. It is home to many of the Fortune 500 companies and accounts for a substantial share of global food and soybean exports. The region is also a pioneer in China-US people-to-people exchanges and subnational cooperation. The city of Muscatine stands as a testament to the friendship between our people. Nanjing and St. Louis forged the first sister-city relationship between our 2 countries. Projects of Chinese investors like Wanxiang Group and Fuyao Group have made solid progress here and have been warmly welcomed. I hope you will actively support the partnership between our 288 pairs of sister provinces, states, and cities, facilitate exchanges between schools, think tanks, institutions, and business associations, and pour our people's goodwill into a mighty momentum that propels the development of bilateral relations. Dear friends, at the start of September, when trade frictions loomed again, Mr. Jim Sutton, CEO of the US Soybean Export Council, came to me at our embassy. While expressing his deep concern and hope for an agreement through consultation based on equality, mutual respect, and mutual benefit, he also reiterated his firm resolve to continue leading a delegation to the 8th China International Import-Expo. Before that, the China Chamber of Commerce of Import and Export of foodstuffs, native produce, and animal byproducts led a delegation of entrepreneurs to the US, during which it co-hosted the US-China Soybean Industry Partnership event with American partners in DC and attended the Heartland Connect for Trade and Investment in Chicago. All these have demonstrated the courage and sense of duty of industries and entrepreneurs in both our countries to boost mutual understanding through action and address challenges with confidence. The early bird catches the worm. Many businesses have taken steps to cast votes of confidence in China-US economic cooperation. Recently, China's Goshen High-Tech has invested around $2 billion to build a battery plant in Illinois, which will create over 2,000 jobs. Last week, GE Healthcare and Alibaba Damo Academy signed a cooperation framework, letter of intent, introducing medical AI technology into imaging equipment to promote innovative integration of software and hardware. For such examples of win-win cooperation, the more the better. By setting sail together, we could ride the wind, break the waves, and brave the journey of 10,000 miles. Friends from the Chinese and American business communities, let us jointly speak up, take action, and keep the giant ship of China-US relations sailing steadily forward. Thank you very much.